You know how when you're working a puzzle, you're looking for where are the edges, where is this patch of color, where is that patch of color. You've got to have a sort of vision for putting it together, or else you're not going to be a good puzzle worker. Don, he sees the ability to bring together the business school, the athletic department, the med school.
For the last 20 years, Don has been a force at Wake Forest.
Don was exceptional at figuring out how to make the biggest difference with the time he could invest.
Don does not live for himself. Don lives for others, for the common good.
To me, Don Flo is Wake Forest University. I've never met someone with as much business sense who has such deep empathy for every person in our community like Don Flo.
Don is an irrepressible source of energy. He's just got ideas coming out all the time. He is somebody who wants humanity to have a better way of being.
One of the things that I admire the most about him is how his faith informs the way he treats people, the way he approaches problems, the way that he handles situations.
Don is tremendous at finance, and he reads philosophy and theology. And he understands what a university is about.
We were getting ready to get serious about launching a campaign, and I talked to Dr. Hatch, and we thought there couldn't be anybody better to be the campaign chair.
The capital campaign certainly was very necessary for Wake Forest.
The very first project we launched during the Wake Will campaign was Farrell Hall. So Don was like, okay, how is it that we're going to do this? How many people do we need? And out comes the pencil, and he starts working it out on his note cards. So what's amazing about Farrell Hall is that even in the earliest vision of it, the whole idea was this was going to be a statement about how we wanted our students and faculty and staff to be able to live and work.
The building is incredible in and of itself. It has set a standard for what our vision for the buildings on campus could be.
Just the overall ability to redo all our residence halls.
It was a remarkable campaign that actually positioned Wake Forest in a way that I think we weren't necessarily going to achieve without it.
The $175 million in new facility construction has been completed without long-term capital debt. And that's a testament to the vision and leadership of people like Don Flo.
And then when you look at athletics, I mean, Wake Forest has redone all its athletic facilities.
Well, all you have to do is go on campus and just see where our facilities have come. Don Flo, cares about athletics. He cares about football, but he also cares about the business school and the medical school.
We have been able to become part of the second largest not-for-profit health system in the whole United States. And our medical school, Wake Forest University School of Medicine, will be the intellectual power generating the value add for that humongous health system.
It took me one conversation to realize he's really quite a Renaissance guy. He shocked me when I met him, saying about how he asked questions, his persona. He was really trying to solve a problem. When I came here, he was the one that really participated, looking at the changes, how to make that happen, what we were doing with the university. And it was exciting because we were really integrating more of the academic piece with the hospital piece.
In the partnership with Atrium Health, we were able to have a second campus which broadened the scope of the medical school a tremendous amount and gave us, access into one of the fastest growing cities in North Carolina and the country.
So both in the hospital and the medical school coming together, Don was pivotal in those negotiations, and then also the negotiations with Atrium.
In a lot of ways, what we hope is that the work that we do in building these kinds of large-scale campaigns is transformational, but not just for the university, but for the hundreds and hundreds of students who have the opportunity to be here.
People respect Don, and Don understands people, so cultivating new trustees, setting high goals for Wake Forest.
He listens intently, and when he is at board meetings, he's always taking notes too. When you watch him, he's writing down, thinking, and really looking at what we're doing and how we're accomplishing things.
And then he stands up and he has a nice summary and overview of what people have said and how he thinks it would go together. He's really focused on, will this work as a thing that comes from our deep values?
When you have a problem, you want to get his opinion and his thought. Don approached Ron at a game and said, hey, we got this opportunity for Winston-Salem. What if we built a tennis complex and hosted an international ATP tennis tournament?
His vision for being able to draw a national community to Winston-Salem was such a powerful component of all that we were thinking about. Because a lot of what he was trying to do is elevate Wake Forest brand nationally.
Things like that happening in Winston-Salem, Don is in the middle of it and is using all of his resources and connections to build support inside the community.
Gears and Guitars is one where you see the diversity of Don's interests really emerge. Live music together with the bike races, and it's an extraordinary collection of people. If you ever go down there, you'll see all walks of life from Winston-Salem.
No one has been more focused on the economic and cultural vitality of Winston-Salem than Don Flo.
It feels a lot like Don single-handedly decided to work with people to really invest in the city and make the city of Winston-Salem great.
He wants this region of the country to be living up to its promise.
Don has supported so many things that simply bring people together.
He gives us the ability to see how the pieces need to come together.
Everything he does, he thinks of how can it have the greatest impact on the most people.
He's always in the picture. He's always sitting at the table. He's always in someone's ear. And he always has that smile on his face. You really deserve it, Don, and you're going to say you don't, but you really deserve it.
Don, thank you so much for your dedication to Wake Forest and to Winston-Salem. I think you have made our university so much greater.
Don and Robin, it has been such a privilege to know you as friends and colleagues and to work on big, important projects together.
Don Flo's leadership behind the scenes and his support of Wake Forest leaders has been transformative to this university.
It was an extraordinary period of my life and an opportunity to be able to learn from somebody who is so extraordinarily gifted, accomplished, and principled. And I always will cherish that.
You've made this a much better place for a lot of people, and I don't know if enough thank yous will ever do it justice.
I'm so sorry that I can't be here in person to give you a big hug and tell you how proud I am of you and all the work that you've done and what a special person you are to all of us.
We've had such a good time working together. We love you. And today we'd just like to say thanks.
Hello, I'm Vic Flo. I've been around here about 40 years. I served several terms as trustee. Wake Forest has been a big part of my life and big part of my family's life. I'm proud of the person that he has become. He had every opportunity not to grow up as well as he did. And he was never a problem to us, always a bright light. And we've always been very proud of his accomplishments.